What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, and I'm going to be bringing you another game from the defense, continuing my coverage of it. This is between SGC and Navi. The replay kind of didn't start in the classic pick ban phase, so I guess something happened with remakes, and they had to just make an all-pick game. So we're not going to be able to go through the bans, but we do have the picks. SGC is going to be playing the Morphling, picked up by Warlog. Kranich going to be playing the Sand King. Aldred on the Leshrac. Tulex on the Invoker, and last but not least is Ofak on the Shadow Demon. And Navi, Light of Heaven on the Nature's Prophet, Puppy on the Enigma, Admiral Bulldog, I'm actually not sure who that is, going to be playing the Lone Druid, and the most exciting is Nier. No, I can't say no. Okay, the most exciting is Nier, going to be playing that Ogre Magi. Ogre Magi is a hero that you rarely see, and he's actually, in my opinion, a viable hero. Meanwhile, we have Dendi on the Invoker. I want to talk about Ogre Magi for just a little bit. Ogre Magi typically played as a supporty role, kind of like Vengeful Spirit. I mean, like, they both have their place stuns that you could just click and fire nice and easy. But the thing is with Ogre Magi is that, okay, well, in my mind, there's a couple different kinds of support. There's the healing babysit support, the likes of Warlock, Dazzle, Omni Knight, and those really just focus on protecting your carries. Of course, you have the more aggressive supports, people like CM, Shadow Demon, VS, that kind of support your carry in a different way by applying pressure to the other team. And then you have someone like Ogre Magi or Jakiro, who are extremely aggressive, and they're mostly just going to be killing everything because they have so much damage. The main drawback of Ogre Magi, however, is that multicast is a pure luck-based skill. And if you're unlucky, then you don't do nearly as much damage as you would like. But other than that, the slow coming out from Ignite and Fire Blast, it's some pretty substantial damage. And he's going to need it too, because he's up here against a very dangerous tri-lane, a very, very dangerous tri-lane. Shadow Demon, Sand King, and Leshrac, the purpose of this tri-lane is purely to get kills and shut down whoever's in this top lane. A Disruption into a Burrow Strike, into a Split Earth, Edict, right clicks. That's going to take down either the Lone Druid and the Ogre Magi, actually. Even though Ogre Magi does have some of the most, I believe he's the highest strength of any intelligence heroes. That sounds about right. Jakiro might be comparable, but Ogre Magi definitely has a lot of strength for an intelligence hero, so he's going to be a little more tanky, and that's something else that you get when you pick up the Ogre Magi. You get a little bit of bulk, so you don't have to worry about building health items as much. You could focus on other things, of course. 587 is not going to be the most, since his strength gain, if I remember correctly, isn't stellar, but he's still going to be a little more tanky than your Vengeful Spirits, Crystal Maidens, or Venomancers. Right now he's just playing, well, him and Admiral Bulldog doing the jungle thing, because if they get close to this tri-lane, they're all going to die. I see Ofak looking for a disruption. He seems to know where Navi is. Even, yeah, they actually do have a ward. They know exactly where they are, so Navi has to be extremely careful right now. If Bulldog gets too close, oh, nice snipe by Ofak, taking out that last hit from the Centaur. Let's go over the other lanes for a second. Light of Heaven is going to be up against the Morphling. Light of Heaven, Nature's Prophet, with more range, is going to have a little bit of an edge. Of course, Morphling has a lot more burst damage, so Light of Heaven can't get too over-aggressive, or else Morphling, if he plays his cards right, can just waveform in and just completely decimate the Nature's Prophet. Windrunner is going to be soloing mid against Invoker, who has been getting Exort so far. It's not too late for him to change up his build. He's actually getting completely whooped by Dendi at the moment. 13-7 versus only 1-1. So Invoker not having the best time. Let's actually check how Morphling's doing. 13-0, 11-1. So bot lane's kind of a even lane so far. But yeah, the top lane's not getting jack shit. Puppy with the Enigma is serving a little bit of income for the Navi team, but Lone Druid has absolutely nothing. Ogre Magi has absolutely nothing. And Ogre Magi even picked up that Orb of Venom extremely early. Something you rarely see. Usually you want to opt for more supporty oriented items, and okay, I was about to say, there's no courier. Holy shit, he forgot to get a courier. No, they wouldn't do that. Ogre Magi getting that Orb of Venom, which indicates that he was planning on being extremely aggressive. There's no reason to get Orb of Venom if you're going to be playing passively, because, well, you're not going to hit anything, and you don't get anything else besides the slow from that Orb of Venom. He's most likely just going to be holding it there, as we see Dendi cleverly escaping the likes of Aldred and Ofak, circling around, but he's not out of the woods yet. Here comes Aldred. He's thinking about going in. He wants to go in on Dendi. Dendi still has his wind run though, and he has a double damage rune, so he could turn the tides fairly easily. And Puppy somehow managing to dodge this roaming party from SGC. He's going to continue farming, doing the Enigma thing in the jungle. But if anything is going to happen, it's going to be in this top lane, and it might be soon. The Ogre Magi wandering up. Very good ward placement by SGC. They know that if they ward off the pole camps, I mean, like this camp is, you know, warded off regardless. If they also block this camp, then they're not going to have any chance for kills, because Na'Vi with this camp is going to be going for this because it's income that is pretty much guaranteed. That allows SGC for an easy in and an easy potential kill, at least for that tri lane. And so far the tri lane has not panned out exactly as they wanted as far as kills go, but as far as pressure goes, Sand King 28 for 7. Not much on the other two heroes, but Lone Druid has nothing, and Ogre Magi, still level 1, also has nothing. So this top lane for Na'Vi not working out for them at all, as we see Dendi going strong onto Tulix with a double damage rune. Power shot and right clicks is going to be enough to kill him. In the meantime, in the top lane, Leshrac, Sand King, and the Shadow Demon pushing hard on the top tier 1 tower of Na'Vi. Na'Vi actually has a pretty good push lineup, and with Ogre Magi's Ignite and Bloodlust, it's pretty useful for a pushing lineup. Of course, I would rather like to see a Venomancer or something like that. It's more, obviously it's more common, but I think it also works better for a heavy push lineup such as Na'Vi's. Once again, jumped right into the pick phase, so I did not get a chance to really analyze any of this. SGC going for the more mid-game power into late-game assurance with that Morphling pick, and Na'Vi going almost straight up push, but going a little bit more aggressive than usual. So Ogre Magi still wandering around at level 1, so he's not being very useful at all. He's mostly just been babysitting this Lone Druid, who actually is level 4, so Ogre Magi making sure that everyone stays off his Lone Druid. And Lone Druid hasn't died yet, so I guess count your blessings. And so Ofak just warding up, and Ogre Magi camping out near an Invis rune. He's holding it for Dendi. Dendi could get an amazing shackle shot. Pretty sure Ofak saw Dendi head towards there. In the meantime, the two beastly pushers from Na'Vi, Nature's Prophet and Enigma, putting some pressure on the bottom lane. They already took down 1 tower, so that is 1 tower in favor of Na'Vi, and Morphling really doesn't have the potential to hold this off. He could try to waveform through and clear some of these creeps, but then he'll just get stunned and right-clicked. Take a lot of damage, probably not die. He might die if he does that, but either way, it's not going to be a good idea for him to do that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
And
attack.
it would be smart of him to just leave it be at that bot lane. I actually really want to see how this Ogre Magi does. Orb of Venom, I feel like instead of getting that, you could just stack up on regeneration, get another set of wards, or even an early dust. Because right now, Orb of Venom doing absolutely nothing for him. I don't think he's hit anything yet, not even a creep.
Radiant's
So
bottom tower is under
mostly
attack.
just taking in item slot and burning a hole where his other item should be. I don't think that metaphor quite works. So while we're waiting for something to happen, I just want to say I do have a new mouse right now. My old one, I had a Razor Death Adder, and it kind of crapped out, so I actually still have warranty on it, so that's being replaced. So still getting used to this one. It's a little bit different. It's one of those crappy whatever you have lying around the house mice. As you now see, Nier and Ofak going to be going on an engagement, and Shadow Demon is level 3, so he could be doing a little bit more. There goes a Fire Blast and an Ignite going on Ofak, and Enigma is here to back him up. No mana at all, but Nature's Prophet's ultimate doing a lot of damage, and even if Nature's Prophet's ultimate wasn't there, Dendi would have been enough. As we now see, oh, it wasn't done yet. Enigma getting killed by Morphling Waveform, and Nier is going to be in a lot of trouble. He's going to die most likely. I don't see him getting away from this. One more Waveform. No, it's actually just going to be an Invoker right click. So yeah, apologies for the mouse if I incorrectly clicked things, but now we see another engagement going on to Dendi. Dendi's going to force to pop the wind run. Gonna find a double damage rune, so it's not gonna help him escape, but he is gonna be fine regardless. He can actually consider going aggressive onto Aldred. He's doing a lot of damage. Shackle Shot isn't gonna latch to anything, and Denny's just gonna fall back. If the Shackle Shot did latch, I'm pretty sure Denny would have just gone up on the high ground and tried to take out that Leshrac. He's actually going to be going for a lot of damage on the Sand King as well, doing a ton of damage. The 2 right clicks and a power shot. Sand King's in a very unhappy place right now. He does have his arcane boots, so he's pretty an aggressive Sand King, or he could play very aggressive if he chooses to do so. Leshrac, Shadow Demon, not quite as high level as Sand King, so Sand King being the focus of the farm on the top lane. I kind of want to follow this Ogre Magi all over the place just because I love seeing him. It's a very good sound set too by Valve. Morphling getting some free farm time at the bottom lane, but not for long. Light of Heaven now with the Hand of Midas going to be pressuring that bot lane again, and Morphling most likely cannot kill a Nature's Prophet 1 vs 1. You do a lot of damage, but I'm pretty sure Nature's Prophet, if he plays his cards right, could get out there just fine. Na'Vi taking a second tower of the game on the top lane. That was Lone Druid and Nature's Prophet Light of Heaven pushing that down. So they should be sitting at a pretty big gold advantage. Experience also sitting in favor of Na'Vi. Actually kind of surprising considering Ogre Magi was kind of dead weight, but that difference in experience mostly coming from Enigma. You see Wind Run by Dendi. Not going to latch Invoker, however, so playing extremely aggressive there. Didn't quite pay off, but hey, sometimes you just got to play aggressive. We now see SGC, the tri-lane from before, going to be pushing down this top lane tower. Puppey does have his black hole, so if he chooses to do so, he could do a lot of hurt. Aldrid's taking a lot of damage, but Lone Druid gets... No, that wasn't Lone Druid. Enigma gets disrupted. To see Obak also taking a lot of damage. Ogre Magi's Ignite is going to pick up Leshrac, and he's on the chase. Wow, Orb of Venom actually doing more for him. Light of Heaven on the chase for Kranich. Kranich is going to get away with that Sandstorm, but Ogre Magi, I bet he's happy he picked up that Orb of Venom now, making me eat my words. Light of Heaven teleporting bot to defend the Morphling push, and that's going to be that. Enigma didn't even have to use his black hole, and he had I feel like he had like a small opportunity to catch through them, but really they didn't really even need it. As we now see Lone Druid Admiral Bulldog sitting at 1500 gold, so a little bit less than halfway. You see if Shackle Shot going on to 2 legs, Power Shot as well. Is Dendi gonna have enough right click? He needs one more. Yes, it is gonna be just enough. Cold Snap was not enough to save that Invoker, and he did not have time to invoke a Ghost Walk. I don't think the Ghost Walk would have saved him either. The fade time was probably a little bit too much. But this is going to mean another tier 1 tower for Na'Vi. This is going to be the 3rd tower of the game. SGC have yet to take one, actually. I think Dendi is actually going for a Force Staff, so far there's no mech in progress or pipe for Na'Vi. Kind of surprising considering how much pushing power they have and how much mileage they can get out of those 2 items. Dendi just camping up the mid lane, keeping applying pressure. This tower is very close to being killed. This Puppey actually going for Kranich, but Puppey is very low health. Burrow Strike into an Epicenter might be enough to kill Puppey if he doesn't get his black hole off. It's going to be close though. Black hole has a pretty fast cast time, so I don't think, well, really depends what the angle is. The turn rate on the Enigma is probably going to be the biggest thing for that. If you guys are playing Sand King, always make sure you Burrow Strike behind someone. That turn rate might be just enough time to prevent them interrupting your Epicenter channeling. Now see Windrunner taking that tier 1 tower, and she's on the hunt. There goes the Windrunner. She's going to be looking for Aldred. Aldred is going to get lashed to a tree, and this is going to take a lot of magical damage. There goes the Ignite and the Fire Blast, Power Shot as well. One more right click. No, it's actually just going to be the Ignite from Ogre Magi. As I was saying, Ogre Magi very similar to Vengeful Spirit, and kind of similar to Shadow Demon as well. Very aggressive ward bitch. But you know what? Vengeful Spirit doesn't have that Ignite. Sacrificing a little bit of utility in exchange for more raw spell damage. And I like that. I feel like Ogre Magi doesn't get enough play. Even though I understand why teams don't want to pick him up. Because a nether swap is a nether swap. If you swap someone, they're going to be swapped. But multicast, you get that, and it's like, well, Congratulations, you multicasted Bloodlust on a ranged creep and a melee creep. And then you failed the multicast for Fire Blast for the next like 20 casts, and it's enraging and everyone's unhappy and it's just a overall bad time. So that's Puppy. Puppy and Soul Ring going to be going to 2x. He has a huge army of conversions. He's going to be taking a lot of damage. No, he's actually just going to Ghost Walk out of there. No dust coming out from the Navi side. So Tulek's going to be getting out with his life. Ghost Walk OP. No, not really. Invoker OP, more like it. No, he's fine. Invoker used to be ridiculous. I haven't played him when he was pre-remake. This Invoker that you guys all know, or like most of you should know, the one that is actually being played, is a post-remake Invoker. The old one had, 27 spells? Yeah, the order of your orbs mattered, so it was freaking ridiculous. There's huge giant lists of Invoker spells, and I can't imagine anyone playing that. That was when Dota had really crazy heroes like the Void Demon or Gambler, shit like that. Old Vicky Maru with like a level 3 invisibility and a Death Ward. Yeah, shit was ridiculous back then. I would highly suggest looking that up if you're interested in the history, or if you just want a good laugh, because some of those heroes, it's like, how did you get through the balancing stages of your development? That doesn't even make any sense. Okay, let's get back to the game. Nature's Prophet with that Hand of Midas and his ultimate has picked up a mechanism for his team, and that's pretty big for Navi. If they want to push, they haven't really pressured as 5 quite yet. And they don't really need to do that until Lone Druid gets his Relic or Radiance. Lone Druid is actually being left to the top lane all alone. SGC is not interested in stopping the Lone Druid at the moment. So the Relic is going to be up relatively soon. Sand King, with the early farm that he got, picked up a Blink Dagger. He's probably going to be heading towards the bot lane. There he is right now. So Navi have to be extremely careful of this. They don't know that Sand King has that Blink Dagger yet, unless they have extremely quick reflexes, which they do. But I don't think Sand King was in vision. The only thing that would have given Navi the vision were those Eidolons, and they were just about to die anyway. Smoke now coming out from the SGC side. They're looking for someone. They might find Puppy and Nier. You have to be very careful. Blink into Burrow Strike and catch them both. They're lining up perfectly for it. There it is. Blink, double Burrow Strike, Epicenter, Sunstrike on the Puppy. Epicenter going to be going through Black Hole. And Sand King's going to be picking up one, Morphling with the other, as Nier and Puppy take a very fast fall. Very good use of that Epicenter and Sunstrike. Sunstrike, actually, I'm pretty sure it only hit Enigma. And if you're going to be focusing down the threats, then Enigma definitely at the top of the list. Or definitely was at the top of the list. Not so anymore for another 3 minutes when his Black Hole isn't down. Enigma at that point isn't that very threatening compared to Ogre Magi, who now with multicast could be pumping out a lot of magical damage. A lot more than Enigma. Looks like Navi, in the meantime, pushing out the top tower, tier 2. And Invoker heading towards the drum, but not quite there yet. Surprising low amount of gold. I don't know, I guess he did get handled pretty hard by the Windrunner in the mid lane. And I don't think... Okay, here's what it was. Top lane didn't get the opportunities for kills. I don't think there was a single disruption on the Lone Druid or the Ogre Magi. And that means Invoker was denied a lot of the pretty much guaranteed assist gold that Invokers, Exhort Invokers at least, get to depend on. Of course, Invokers could farm outside of that, but just the small income that Invokers typically have, since the Sunstrike is such a very easy assist or even a kill if you're lucky. Now see, Blink, Burrow Strike going onto Puppy, Sand King doing a lot of damage, Sandstorm, and here comes Leshrac with the Edict. Puppy's taking a lot of damage, he's going to fall, but we do have a teleportation coming out from Dendi, and Nature's Prophet's going to bounce around, going to kill that Leshrac, and Kranich going to be Burrow Striking to avoid the power shot and a blink away. Kranich might be able to live. Dendi is on hot pursuit. There goes the Windrun, and he's looking for one power shot. That's all he needs. He's completely lost sight of him, however. He's going to power shot and make a blind guess, and blind being the operative word. Sand King was nowhere near there. So very good play by Sand King. Burrow striking at a slight angle, making sure he remains safe, even with Nature's Prophet teleporting in. Of course, Nature's Prophet doesn't really have any disable that could hold Sand King. And like, so what if you sprout Burrow Strike, Sandstorm? It all goes well. Invoker Replicate, gonna be timing out. I don't think Morphling is interested in going back there. He's just going to be farming up. Has picked up a Ghost Scepter, and he's a little bit off of his shotgun. It's going to be doing a lot of damage. Prophet, very weak at this stage of the game. Ogre Magi as well. Hell, all the Navi heroes are pretty soft, and Nier looking for a Fire Blast onto him, but even if he does get a multicast, there's no way he could follow up with that, and instead they're just going to settle for pushing down the bottom lane. You see 3 from the SGC, or 2 actually, 2 SGC teammates smoked up looking for the Lone Druid. They know where he is now. They're, oh god, Lone Druid, this is going to be the end of you. Burst Strike into an Epicenter, Split Earth, and a Sunstrike. He's going to be taking so much damage. Goodbye, Lone Druid. It was nice knowing you with Shrek getting an easy kill on the top lane. Did he have his Radiance? I know he had a Relic. I don't think he had enough for his Radiance quite yet, so that item is going to be set back. Windrunner, however, very wealthy with a Force Staff and now an Ultimate Orb, popping a Regeneration Rune. So this push on the bot lane is going to be extremely strong, and with only a replicate to defend it, I don't think they can hold it. SGC, however, is going to look for a double trade, tier 2 tower in exchange for 2 tier 1s. Kind of what SGC needs to do right now, as they are very behind in the gold and the experience graph. So if you could take 2 towers in exchange for 1, it might get in your favor, especially when Navi in the bot mid tower. Such a valuable asset for them if they decide to go to Roshan, or if SGC decides to go to Roshan. Puppy has a Blink Dagger now. He's looking for the Morphling, who's now 1,000 away from his Ghost Scepter. If Navi managed to kill the Morphling, that's going to be pretty big, because the thing is with the Ghost Scepter build on the Morphling is that you're making a huge gamble. You're saying, hey, I think I could get my Eagle Song in a timely manner to actually do some damage with it. And instead of the Lincoln's build where you get those steady build-up advantages, Ghost Scepter, defensive in some respects, but against this team it's going to probably hurt him more than help him. Now see Navi going for Roshan, and I don't think SGC could stop them. Radiance is almost up on the Lone Druid, and with this Roshan kill, he's going to have it. So let's see who's going to take the Aegis. Probably Light of Heaven?
Roshan has fallen to the dire.
Oh, actually it's going to be the Lone Druid. Something, I'm not sure. Lone Druid is naturally tanky. I feel like it would have been better put onto Dendi or Light of Heaven. As you see, engagement going on to the Replicant, it's going to be instantly taken out. Thing is with the Aegis on the Lone Druid, you have to be very careful with it, because if you get taken down, then you have a wait period, then you revive, and then you resurrect, and you think that's great, except for the fact that you're in your human form, I guess, human and druid form. You're in your human form, so you're very soft, so you could easily be taken out again, and then you have to summon your Spirit Bearer as well, if you want to get that Radiance, which he now has. But Navi with that Aegis, looks like they're content to just push down on the mid lane, and with that demolish damage and a Radiance on the Spirit Bearer, it's going to be doing a lot of damage. Spirit Bearer now breaking rank to chase down some of the SGC side. Shackle Shot's not going to land. Morphling in the meantime picking up Puppy, who is waiting in the wings for a black hole. Was that a shotgun? That was a shotgun wasn't even used actually, so it was probably just a disruption, Burrow Strike. Yeah, Cold Snap as well. Taking out Enigma, who was doing the right thing but in the wrong place, so unfortunate for him. Ogre Magi being a walking utility stick. I don't know why I would call him a stick, but he has a Gem of Sight. Going to be de-warding, trying to maintain complete map control, and with a push lineup, that's what you want to aim for, complete map control. Because if your enemies are scared, if they're constantly being pressured back to all their lanes, then that's how you get the pickoffs. That's how you get smoke ganks, that's how you get towers, and more importantly, that is how you create openings to get yourself a pair of Viraxes. Puppy now going to take half a shotgun, but unfortunately for Morphling, with that ethereal form taking a lot more damage from that Ogre Magi. If that was a multicast, Morphling would have been hurting. He did have a full bottle, I believe, so it wouldn't have been that bad. But Puppy would have had an opportunity to blink in and potentially do some killing damage to that Morphling. It's like SGC, just moving around, trying to get more control of the map by warding, and it's really what they need to do. Since they don't have that mid tower, they don't have their bot towers, only one tier 2 tower remains. whereas Na'Vi only missing one tower, so SGC quite far behind as far as gold goes. And Morphling, even though he's killing people, I was gonna say even though he does have his ethereal blade, he doesn't really have the agility to back it up, but apparently the spell damage is enough, especially on someone who's extremely soft like an Enigma with no pipe quite yet. Final tier tower of SGC does take a fall, and Na'Vi now, well, once Ogre Magi gets down to this bottom half of the map, they're gonna have complete map control. You got Nature's Prophet bouncing around as it is right now, easily clearing off creep waves, not to mention his summons, and then you have just, you know, the Radiance Burn and power shots. Ogre Magi not really helping that much in that regard, but just so much pressure being applied to SGC, and it's really keeping them in their base. Roshan isn't up right now, so Na'Vi isn't going to get the advantage that way, but they already did get Roshan when they had not even as strong an advantage as they have now, if that makes any sense. So Na'Vi in a commanding position, a lot of gold, a lot of big items coming up as well. Scythe of Eyes now on the Windrunner. If she gets that Hex on, well, whoever gets Hex pretty much dies. Invoker is now in a lot of danger. Is there going to be a Shackle Shot? Is she going to break her invisibility? If she can get both of these, with Leshrac and Invoker, she's definitely going to go for it. There's a stun onto the Invoker. Force Staff himself out of danger. Is there going to be a Shackle Shot? I want to see a double man Shackle Shot, Dendi. Here we go. Shadow Poison just going out as actually Na'Vi falling back. So Dendi, if he goes in... No, actually that was someone teleporting in. I thought it was someone teleporting out. Double sheep on the Na'Vi team, actually. So a lot of disable. And they weren't exactly stun light when it started, so they have a ton of disable coming out. As Kranich taking position on the wings, going to be looking for a blink epicenter. Ice Wall goes off to try to slow down the creep wave, and it works. Ice Wall is such a ridiculous amount of slow. It's like upheaval status. Except you don't have to channel it, which is extremely nice. So that's what makes upheaval so boring. Oh no, Enigma, you gotta watch out. There's a angry water beast with a shotgun who wants your head. Puppy actually blinking in. He's gonna stun Morphling after he uses it. Sunstrike gonna go hit on Puppy and Light of Heaven, but Midnight Pulse doing a lot of damage to the Morphling. Strength Morph is going to keep him alive for now. We see Admiral Bulldog going at first hit Entangle onto the Morphling, but he's simply not doing enough damage. Morphling transferring everything he has to Strength. No kill is going to be happening, but a pretty tense situation nonetheless. That Hex just completely shutting down Morphling. He wasn't able to finish his shotgun combo, and Puppy gets to walk away with his life. Now sitting at 1,000 gold. Would not be surprised if he picked up a pipe. Pipe usually on the Lone Druid, maybe? No? Getting Tranquil Boots, so pretty good movement speed on those actually. Enigma would benefit quite a bit from the pipe, defend himself from that Morphling shotgun. I don't think a Morphling would be able to brute force through a pipe. His spell damage at least, right click damage, not the highest, but still pretty substantial. So that would protect him a lot, and if he could survive that initial Morphling combo, then he could get a black hole off. Actually going to be going for complete immunity, so if he gets ethereal bladed, ether blast, if he gets ether blasted, if he gets blasted, then he's going to be able to just pop the BKB, get out of that, and be completely safe from the rest of the combo. So another way to go, more individual oriented rather than team oriented, but hell, blink BKB on Enigma is as standard as standard can be. So it's also a good choice. Pipe most likely going to be acquired by Windrunner? I don't know. Light of Heaven is now in quite a bit of danger. As you see, Blink Burrow into Light of Heaven, and Sunstrike is going to hit him square on the head. He hexed up Leshrac, so there's not going to be any more damage coming out from him. Mech might be enough to keep him alive as Dendi Force Staffs Light of Heaven out. Second charge Shadow Poison isn't going to be enough, however. Ovac taking a lot of damage. Puppy in the back wings, managing to get a 3-man black hole, but no, it's not going to be enough. Leshrac unfortunately had his Pulse Nova up, so Puppy's ultimate didn't do quite enough. Dendi's now going to take a full shotgun blast. Not enough to kill him, but the Sand King, Blink, Epicenter, and a Burrow Strike is going to be able to take them both out. And then Lone Druid chasing down Leshrac. Leshrac is going to burn to death from the Radiance. However, is Lone Druid going to be able to get out of this? Nature's Prophet was thinking of coming back in. I believe Nature's Prophet survived. Yeah, I think he did. So he's looking for a teleport. He's going to get it on the Morphling. Morphling hexed up, and he is strength morphing, but he's almost out of mana. Burrow Strike going out to hold off the Lone Druid. Morphling is actually going to get away. Kranich might die for it. Oh no, the neutral is on SGC's side, not going the way of Na'Vi. Stomp holding off Light of Heaven, and it's activated because of Lone Druid and his bear. So 3 heroes around that Centaur means Centaur is going to stomp, and Chulex, the Invoker, putting some hurt on the mid lane, but not going to be enough to take it out. Even with the double teleportation, it's not going to be going down. So very aggressive play by SGC, which is kind of what they need to do. They need to smoke up. They need to get the pickoffs because right now they're behind, and with the map control that Na'Vi has because of the Nature's Prophet and because of the initial towers that they've already taken down, it's going to be hard for them to just push and try to be safe. Enigma's ult is down for another 100 seconds, so if they're going to try any pushing to get themselves back into this game, it's going to be now. Invoker did pick up a Force Staff, it's actually pretty old, and a drum, so he's going to be zipping around pretty quickly, sitting at a lot of movement speed. Slushrak has nothing. He has an Ogre Club going for a BKB, but even if he does get a BKB, there's going to be a lot of right-click damage coming out from Navi's side. Even more now that Nature's Prophet picked up a Demon Edge. We have to see stun going off of Julex. Blink Burrow Strike onto Puppey, and a Split Earth as well. Puppey's going to get shotgunned down by the Morphling, and that is going to most likely mean a tier 1 tower for SGC. Looks like Na'Vi is not interested in defending it, and it only has 200 health, so really not a big deal. Na'Vi is okay with losing that tower, and SGC going to be happy to get a little bit of map control, especially considering Roshan is about to be up. If they could slide down and take a tier 1 on the bottom too, that's going to be perfect for them. Unfortunately, their creep wave is nowhere near that, so it's not going to be a good idea. Instead, they're just going to keep pushing, go for a tier 2, and then if they manage to pull a good fight, they could even transition into Roshan. You now see Bloodlust coming out from the Ogre Magi. Only level 1, but still Bloodlust on the Lone Druid and his bear. Going to be doing a lot. I'm actually not sure if it stacks with Rabid. I feel like there was some mechanic in Dota 1 where it wouldn't, but I also feel like they would have fixed that in Dota 2. I honestly don't know if that stacks with Rabid, but either way, Lone Druid going to be attacking very hard. Very fast, actually, not very hard. Spirit Bear is going to be attacking hard and fast. Roshan is now up, and Na'Vi have the time down to a T. Dendi and Ogre Magi are going to be opening up on it. Speaking is hard, guys. This just in. Hyperstone on the Spirit Bear, so Roshan going to be turned into a pig, and he's just going to be right-click down, and SGC don't know about it. I'm sure they suspect it, but they're way too far away to actually act on it. Replicant going to be scouting in. By the time it gets there, it's going to be too late. Roshan gets taken down as Lone Druid gets his Aegis refreshed. I don't believe that Aegis was burned. Or used, actually. Probably a better word than burned. So, probably just timed out and then instantly replaced. So, even more gold going the way of Na'Vi. As you see, really on the back foot. Morphling is picking up that Manta style, which is a standard transition after that Ethereal Blade. Especially that Ultimate Orb helping quite a bit for your health, which, if you want to have a really powerful shotgun blast, you want to have, ideally, 1 base strength. It is very dangerous, but that's how Morphling works. Four for SGC, smoked up, or effectively 5. Morphling can get in whenever he wants. It's looking for someone in the bot lane. They might find an Ogre Magi who's currently just spinning in circles. Oh no, Ogre Magi, this is not a time for one of your two-headed indecisiveness. But the entirety of Na'Vi saw this coming a mile away. They're hiding in the trees. Dendi, is he going to be spotted out? He's very close to death. What are you doing? Don't attack. Shackle Shot going onto Kranich. Not going to latch onto anything, however. Morphling is going to take a lot of damage. He's going to be brought down by the Ogre Magi. And Leshak also getting taken down. Tulex on the run. He's going to get hexed up and he's going to get killed as well. And so, wow, I actually had no idea that was coming. And I don't think SGC saw that coming either. It looked like Na'Vi was scared. It looked like they were just hiding to retreat. But actually they were setting up an elaborate trap. And it was so convincing that it even fooled me. And I have map hack on right now. I can see everything. So, well played by Na'Vi, setting up a very good gank, managing to nail the Morphling before he really gets anything done as far as right clicks go. And this means that they're going to be going for a tier 3 tower in the bot lane. With only 3 up from SGC, they're not interested in fighting this. Epicenter was not used, so Sand King still has that arsenal. Dendi getting shotgunned down by the Morphling. Ignite going on to the Morphling as well as Stand taking a lot of damage. There's the blink. No! There's just the Epicenter from Sand King. A huge mistake. Puppey now pulling 4 people into the black hole. Huge black hole for Na'Vi. 4 Burrow Strike, 3 in the Burrow Strike as well from Sand King. So a good Burrow Strike from the Sand King trying to hold him off, but that 4-man black hole really doing work on the SGC team as we now see a Chaos Meteor and Deafening Blast coming down. Stun going off onto OFAC. He's disrupting. Puppies can take right click down, find Nature's Prophet. But Nature's Prophet is going to be taken down as well. Little Druid going down, popping that Aegis. He still has the bear up, actually, so I guess the bear does die, and I may be going crazy. Morphling going to be taking right clicks, and he's going to be going down as well. Light of Heaven with a Daedalus doing a ton of right click damage. Lone Druid doing quite a bit as well. So very good fight from Na'Vi, taking not 1 but 2 Raxes. SGC had a good opening with that initial kill on the Windrunner, but Puppey just got into position, got a huge black hole. And the more important thing was that Sand King channeled his Epicenter, but his Blink Dagger was on cooldown from something. I believe that was probably Radiance Burn. That means I think every single pulse of that Epicenter was wasted, so a complete waste by Sand King because of that Radiance. Now see a Burrow Strike and Disruption going on to the Lone Druid. Lone Druid is so tanky, he's taking it all. He's going to die, however. He's going to be taken down by Leshrac, but SGC, oh, beautiful power shot by Dendi taking out the Shadow Demon. And he wants more. He's going to go on to the Leshrac as well. Just needs a couple right clicks. Blink Burrow is going to keep him alive, however. Blink stunned by Dendi in retaliation. Kranich taking a lot of damage from that Daedalus. And Tulex has a BKB, and he's trying to stand his ground, but it's not going to be enough. Kranich living at 38 HP. There goes the Nature's Prophet ultimate, not going to hit him. There's no vision on it. Na'Vi, a very weak health. And see, you'll stop down Windrunner. Very weak health. They are going to be taking the 3rd Rax, and that's going to be Mega Creeps. Oof. Shotgun going on to Dendi. So they might be able to hold this off just for a little bit more. Light of Heaven getting Burrow Struck. Split Earth. He's going to be going down as well. Where did... Oh, that was actually a Blink by Puppey. So Blink by Puppey avoiding the waveform. Good little play by there. But SGC, or Morphling just getting isolated and taken down before they could really get in gear. And that's really not what's working well for them. SGC has a lot more of a kind of skirmishy team. They excel at taking down individual targets. Na'Vi, again with that, look at the hammers. Again with that aggressive pushing team, mostly going to be setting up as 5 and relying on just lots of indiscriminate damage to take down the opponents. And so far has been working for them. Their SGC is 2 Raxes down. Quite a bit of farm on some of their heroes, but they're just simply not enough. Leshrac doesn't have anything. He's no item progression. Morphling just now picking up his ultimate orb, and he is going to be able to get a Manta style from clearing this creep wave. But is it going to be enough? I honestly don't think so. Nature's Prophet, just so much farm with that Hand of Might. It's 266 CS. I believe it's the most on the map. Yes, it is the most on the map by quite a bit, however. Quite a bit. And Daedalus, quite a bit of attack speed coming out from him as well, and a Hex. So if he finds Morphling, he might be able to take Morphling down in a one-on-one fight. I'm really disappointed not seeing a whole lot of devastating multicast by Ogre Magi, but regardless, the Bloodlust is doing his job, the stuns are doing his job, the Ignite has gotten him a couple of kills and assists, so everything working well for that Ogre Magi pick. It would be kind of disappointing if Ogre Magi, who's never sees, or rarely sees competitive play, I'm actually going to use the word never, he never sees competitive play, you never see Ogre Magi. It would be really disappointing if he just gets completely shut down because he gets screwed over by the RNG and he doesn't get any multicasts. Sometimes that's just what happens. We now see what could be the final push coming in from Na'Vi. Mjolnir picked up by the Lone Druid and a Basher. Mjolnir actually being turned on the Spirit Bears. We see a Chaos Meteor and an Ice Wall trying to hold back this creep wave. Puppey blinks in, managing to get 3 in a black hole. Blink Epicenter, however, by Sand King, managing to catch everyone from Na'Vi, but it's not enough damage as the mech goes off. Light of Heaven is taking a lot of damage from that Morphling. He's might go down, but no. The bear is just going to work on everyone as Lone Druid picking up the Invoker, Windrunner on the Shadow Demon. Invoker does buy back. He's the only one left, and this is going to be the last practice. He's not going to be able to get there in time. So clean sweep, 5 for 0. Oh, okay, well, 5 for 1, I guess now. Actually, no, 6 for 1. There's your numbers. 6 for 1 fight in favor of Navi, and SGC calls GG. So a good attempt by SGC. They had some pretty solid lanes, but I don't really think that it was the lone druid that really sealed the game for Navi. It was just the total map presence that they had. They managed to keep the entire map pushing down to SGC, and it really limited SGC's options for all of the game. And MTW apparently also in this game watching. So thanks for watching, guys. This has been the defense group stages between SGC and Navi. Of course, as always, looking for feedback. If you guys seen it, have watched the video and have a strong opinion, please let me know, because I'm not going to get better if I don't know these things. So yeah, I think that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. GG.